Martell Holt has been making moves that have fans talking nonstop. This time, it's not just about him and Melody Shari's ongoing custody battle, but about how he is putting his son Knox, who he shares with Arian Curry, right in the spotlight. Now, let's be clear. There's nothing wrong with a father wanting to spend time with his child. But what has people side-eyeing Martell is the way he's suddenly showcasing Knox, while not showing the same energy for the 4 children he shares with Melody. And when you mix in Martell dropping down into Arian's comments, it's telling her how beautiful she looks. It's giving fans even more to talk about. Stay tuned till the end because you don't want to miss the deeper breakdown of what this could mean for the custody case and Martell's role on Love and Marriage, Huntsville. Martell has always had a reputation for stirring up mess, and it seems like he's doing it again. Recently, he's been posting pictures of him and Knox rocking matching helmets and bats with Holt written across them. He's out here teaching Knox baseball, showing him off, and even hinting that the 2 of them will be starting up TikTok videos together. Now, on the surface, that might sound innocent. Okay, dad bonding with his son, what's the problem with that? Okay, here's where things get tricky. In his court documents with Melody, Martell made sure that neither of them could post their children online until custody issues were resolved. Yet here he is, proudly blasting Knox all over social media. And fans are calling it out, saying it's hypocritical, selfish, and maybe even strategic, as his custody court date is right around the corner. And speaking of strategy, many viewers believe that Martell is using Knox as a distraction. Think about Ituf. He's about to possibly lose custody of his 4 children with Melody. What better way to try and shift the narrative than to showcase himself as a devoted dad to Knox? But let's be real, fans aren't buying it. Watched Martell on Love and Marriage, Huntsville for years. And they know that his parenting often comes with a side of drama, control, and double standards. He doesn't want Melody posting the kids, yet he wants the freedom to do what he wants with Knox. That's the nerve people keep pointing out. And honestly, it's not a good look for him. Now, the Arian Curry factor is also heating things up for years. She's been called coleslaw by fans, and she's been on the outside looking in when it comes to the show. But suddenly her name is being mentioned everywhere again. And who is fueling that? None other than Martell. Dropping comments like, "You're looking very beautiful" under her posts is giving people reason to believe that Martell is not only still in her corner, but possibly gearing up to make her more visible. Could it be that he's laying the groundwork to make her part of his storyline again? Some fans think so, and they are not here for it. Imagine the tension if Arian ever officially popped up on Love and Marriage, Huntsville. Melody would not tolerate that, and neither would the fans who've supported her through Martell's betrayals. And that's another hook because we have to ask, is Martell really thinking about Knox's future? Or is he just trying to spite Melody? We've seen this play out time and time again with Martell. Whenever Melody starts winning in life, whether it's her music, her businesses, or her fan support, Martell finds a way to stir up drama. Now, instead of focusing on fixing himself, it's going to counseling like the judge ordered or being consistent with his children. He's out here throwing compliments at Arian and setting up TikTok plans with Knox. If you stick with me until the end, we're going to break down exactly why this could backfire for him in court. Fans have also been speculating that Martell's behavior is coming from fear. They believe he knows that the custody case is not in his favor. The reports about him refusing to follow court orders, like getting that psych evaluation and counseling, have people shaking their heads. Add to that the fact that Melody has been the stable parent for years and the judge is likely to see through Martell's games. So when he suddenly shifts all his energy to Knox, it feels less like genuine fatherhood and more like desperation. And let's not forget, this man has been blocked by half the fans online, including people who used to root for him. Even bloggers who followed him closely say they've been blocked. Yet they still get the tea because their assistants and followers send them his posts. That's how much Martell is trying to control the narrative. But here's something else to consider. On Love and Marriage, Huntsville, we've seen Martell argue with everyone from Martha Scott to Dr. Heavenly when she made comments online, to even his own ex-wife, Melody. He thrives on conflict. But when it comes to his children, the question is whether the court will see him as a fit father or just someone who uses his kids as pawns in his never-ending battles. That's why fans are wondering if this new Knox push is going to show up in the courtroom. Will the judge call him out for hypocrisy? Will Melody's legal team point out that while he restricted posting the older kids, he's freely putting Knox in the spotlight? That could very well backfire. And the drama doesn't stop there. Viewers are also wondering how Arian feels. In all of this, for years she has complained about being labeled the other woman, about being disrespected, and about being shut out of the fame and money that came with Martell's television career. Now suddenly, she's back on the timeline, smiling as Martell calls her beautiful, and possibly benefiting from people mentioning her name again. Is Martell trying to reward her loyalty after all these years? Or is he just using her too, just like he's accused of doing with everyone else in his life? That's the big question. Meanwhile, Melody has been moving forward with her life. She's focused on her kids, her music, her businesses, and her peace. Fans have noticed that she doesn't respond to Martell's online antics anymore, and that's powerful. While Martell is busy posting Knox and flirting with Arian, Melody is out here building generational wealth for her children. And that's why fans keep saying nobody can replace Melody on the show. Okay? Not Arian, not Destiny, not even Martell himself if he were to leave. She is the one that people root for because she shows strength, class, and perseverance in the middle of chaos. Now, let's talk about Martha and Letitia Scott for just a second because they've also had their share of drama on Love and Marriage, Huntsville. Their marriage has been questioned time and time again, and fans have noticed how Martha often sides with Martell on certain things. But when it comes to parenting, even Martha and Tisha haven't gone as far as Martell in terms of using social media to play games with the kids. That's another reason people feel like Martell is in a league of his own when it comes to stirring mess. So where does this leave Martell? Honestly, in a very messy situation. He's trying to invest in Knox's future. At least that's what it looks like on the surface. But the way he's going about it, posting nonstop, calling out Arian, and ignoring his court obligations, makes it seem more like he's trying to protect his own ego than build something lasting for his son. And let's be real, if he loses custody of his other children, that's going to hurt. No amount of baseball helmets, TikToks, or Instagram comments will change the fact that his decisions have consequences. And here's the final hook for you to think about. When the court date arrives and the judge looks at Martell's behavior, what will matter more, the staged Instagram posts with Knox, or the consistent track record of who has truly been there for the kids day in and day out? Because fans already know the answer, and it doesn't look good for Martell. If you've been watching this man's journey, you know that his actions often speak louder than his words. And right now, those actions are pointing to a father who is more concerned with image than reality. Another point fans are raising is how Martell seems to pick and choose when he wants to be a family man. On Love and Marriage, Huntsville, we've watched him talk about being the provider and protector. Yet we've also seen the other side where his pride and control issues constantly get in the way. Remember those heated arguments with Melody, where instead of showing humility, he doubled down with insults and accusations? Now that the cameras aren't rolling as much, it looks like he's trying to rewrite his image on social media with Knox as the centerpiece. But social media only tells part of the story. And people who've followed Martell for years know that his parenting has always come with strings attached. Fans also can't help but compare how differently Martell treats Arian compared to how he treats Melody. With Melody, it was constant disrespect, cheating, and public humiliation. With Arian, at least online, he sprinkles compliments, calls her beautiful, and shows her attention. But the irony is that Ariane has spent years being upset at Martell for not choosing her publicly or defending her on the show. Now suddenly, he's willing to comment under her posts, like he's proud to be seen with her. Could it be that Martell is only doing this now because his options are running out? Some believe that once Melody completely closes the door on him, Martell runs back to Ariane because she's the only one still entertaining him. Meanwhile, this Knox push also raises questions about what kind of example Martell is setting for all of his children.